Welcome back to Market on Close. I'm Renita Young in for Oliver Rennick. And right now we're going to talk Tesla. We're going to talk EVs with Anthony Sassine, who is here from Crane Shares. Anthony, thank you so much. You are the senior investment strategist there. Now let's talk about Tesla. It's seen a little bit of news today. The stock is down, but let's talk first about these price cuts of the Model X and the Model S vehicles on top of the recent price cuts of two other models. Do you think this will actually spark more demand in Tesla vehicles?
Hi, thank you for having me. Yes, I mean, from what we're hearing from the company, from Elon Musk, especially on the last earnings call, is that the demand was so strong that Tesla had to raise its prices again for the Model Y slightly. So basically, the first cut was mostly done because of lower expectation for demand, but also because Tesla wanted their cars to be included in the Inflation Reduction Act, to qualify for that. And now we're seeing the higher priced cars, the Model S and Model X, which are only 5% of Tesla's total sales yearly, being cut again, right? And that's good news for me because we're seeing the EVs become cheaper, and I think for Tesla, it serves her well because it helps Tesla maintain its brand and maintain its leadership with regards to sales, especially in 2023, where it may be difficult versus competition. And also it kind of reflects Tesla's more flexibility and control over cost, right? Especially as Austin and Berlin gigafactories ramp up. And they're growing more confident that metal prices are coming down, especially with lithium prices in China down 30%. So it sounds like they have a better handle over their cost now, and they're able to lower prices.
Now, that is a perspective that I hadn't heard a lot of yet, and it makes sense. The fact that the company can cut these prices means that they are exercising their control. But as I've heard from one of our guests earlier today, there are viable competitors rising in the ranks. Some of them are legacy car makers like Ford, like GM, and then we have NIO, and then we have Rivian. What are you thinking about the competition for EVs right now?
Absolutely. All these are great companies. But, Tesla is still the leader in that space, right? By sales, by technology, by innovation, by ability to scale, by access to metals and battery contracts and supply, by manufacturing too, which is a very important component. It's not just making the cars or securing the supplies. It's also the manufacturing process, which allowed Tesla to have the highest margins in the industry, and now that they can give up some of those margins as we go into a tougher year. All these companies are doing well. Rivian and NIO specifically, they're still in a ramp-up phase, right? They're still building their platforms, building their lineup, and as a result, they've had two disappointing earnings reports recently. Just for the short term, the long term, great story for both. I love both cars. The ET5 is very promising on the NIO side, and then also the Rivian is very promising. We can talk more if you want about that. But the competition is definitely heating up, and Tesla is at the lead. They're trying to maintain. As for the legacy automakers, they're a little bit behind, right? Because they haven't been investing enough, they haven't been securing supplies enough, and now they're still trying to figure this out. So it's going to take them a little bit of time to be able to scale like Tesla is able to.
In the last about minute and a half that we have, tell me about your takeaways from the company's first ever Investor Day. All of the headlines were talking about how disappointing it was because there were no new product announcements. But what's your takeaway?
Yeah, so we didn't see any big news in there, in that. I mean, it was more focused on their big master plan to fix climate. It was a little bit low on what's, how are you going to do it with regards to a cheaper car. So that's what investors wanted to hear about. They wanted more information about the new car that is expected to be produced in Mexico, which was a new location that was introduced. I mean, no big breakthrough there. We learned a little more about their manufacturing, about how they're thinking about different businesses other than EVs, but nothing major.
And how are you rating Elon Musk's leadership of the company? That's also come under fire for several reasons, especially last week as well. How are you rating that right now? Only have a few seconds there.
Yes, it's definitely getting better. It was tough in 2022. We're seeing the stock rebound because one of the reasons is Elon Musk. And one of the things that I liked about the EV Investor Day that we were able to see the 16 executives other than Elon Musk that are involved in building Tesla. It's not just about Elon. It's it's a whole team of executives that are running Tesla.
All right, Anthony Sassine, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Renita Young, and I'll see you tomorrow on the TD Ameritrade Network.